Welcome back to Professor in Progress. My name's Dane. As you saw from the intro, I've been doing some traveling this week. What I'm up to is I'm in Mae Sariang right now, which is sort of near my field site. It's about an hour away, I think. I'll find out later today because I'm going to visit my field site today. Now, you may recall earlier when I was back in the office in Canberra, I was filling out some forms for the Thai government about getting permission to do my research. That's still an ongoing process. It's been quite a long application process, and the reason for that is the last step is I need to get a letter signed by the village headman in the village where I want to do my research. Once I get that, then my application can be submitted and then I can get permission to get a research visa. So this is the letter. It just pretty much says this person is coming to this place, they're going to do research across these dates, I give them permission to do so, signed the village headman. So it's nearly time to check out of my hotel here, so let's go.
I'm waking up in the morning, half asleep and still thinking I've come a long way from my home. I've come a long way from my home. It still feels like home again. And I'm weighing in the possibilities that it's made a change in me. At this foreign little place, set its skin to my bones. It still feels like home again. Come take me, not set in stone.
Just arrived and lots of new faces here since last time I was here, but just explain why I was here, and the person I've been talking to isn't actually here right now, so I was a bit scared for a second that he didn't tell anyone I was coming, but they did know I was coming, so that's good. And people immediately cooked me food, which is pretty impressive. I don't think I can physically eat all of this, but yeah, then I'm gonna go dump my stuff in a room. I think there's a spot behind the school, I think they were saying. Then I'm gonna stay for a couple of days. And yeah, I'm just letting everyone know that I'm here. And then I guess I got to figure out, once I talk to the director of the school and once I talk to the headman and get my letter, what am I going to do for a couple of days? Am I going to sit in my room watching movies? Or am I going to go talk to people and stuff? I should probably do the latter, but I'm a little nervous about it, but we'll see how I go. And I'm back in Mae Sariang. I didn't film too much while I was there, partially because I was busy doing stuff, and just I didn't want to record too much stuff since I haven't yet spoken to the community as a whole about what I'm going there for. But nonetheless, I thought I'd let you know how it went and how I feel about my first experience as an ethnographer. Now, I spent like 2.5 days in the village. In a nutshell, I would say the first day went really well. The second day I thought was a bit crap. I thought I was a bit crap. And then the sort of half day before I went was great, and then I took off shortly after getting to my room. The teacher who I had been in communication with got back to the school. He'd just gone into town to run an errand, and I immediately just hopped on board with what he was doing for the day. Within about an hour of being in the village, I was on the back of a ute with a bunch of kids, and the reason being it was just sort of a day off because the high school kids had gone to the forest to collect firewood for the school. So then I went and joined them, and we drove out about 10-20 minutes away to this spot in the middle of the forest where all the high school kids were. We piled a bunch of wood into the car, we drove it back to the school, we came back to do another load. This is when like the most productive part of the day happened for me, well, tangential to the main reason I came, was the teacher then left me there for a while because he had to go back with the car and do some other stuff. And I was just kind of hanging out in the forest with a bunch of kids, and there was like one other teacher there, I think. So I got a lot of like time just hanging out without adult supervision, which is amazing. That's like exactly what I would hope to achieve like by the end of my project, to be able to comfortably just go and hang out with the kids and not have teachers looking over my shoulder and not have to be in a classroom and that sort of thing. So for that to happen the very first day that I arrived, that was really encouraging, so that I know that that's a possibility. Since I've been in Thailand, every day I've kind of like struggled to justify to myself in my head like what I'm doing every minute of every day. Like, am I being productive? Should I be doing something else? Do I have to feel guilty if I'm not doing work for this hour, if I want to go watch a video, or if I want to go grab a drink or go to a movie? Or it's just like, I feel like I'm either on the clock or I'm slacking off. And it's kind of a lot of pressure I'm putting on myself, whereas this was the first experience where I was just hanging out, but I was confident that I was being productive in that hanging out, and that was exactly what I was here to do. And it was relaxing because I'm like, it wasn't a chore, you know? I wasn't having to force myself to work. I was just being in the environment with the people and participating as well. And then later in the evening, we went and had dinner at the school janitor's house with his family. That was great. Got a nice Korean meal, and then the teacher who I have been talking to arrange my visit, he brought me over to the village headman's house where I conducted my official business. I should explain why I was there, gave him my letter to sign and all of that. That all went really smoothly. I have in the past kind of tossed up whether it's a good or a bad idea that I have taught previously at the school in the same community where I'm going to be doing my fieldwork. Because it kind of establishes me in a certain role that may not necessarily be exactly how I see my role now as a researcher. But after this experience, I think I can confidently say it was a very good idea for me to go to this community and work there first for a little while and now come back to the same place and do research. Because like the meeting with the village headman would have been so much more uncomfortable if I didn't already have that connection. Like the fact that this teacher was able to come with me and introduce me personally and sit in the room with me and just sort of like reiterate everything that I'm saying, and I guess like when my Thai falters a bit, I can kind of introduce the basic idea of what I want to say and put that across in person myself, which is fantastic. But then he's sitting next to me and he's able to elaborate on that and maybe explain a few other angles that maybe I haven't thought about. Just in a way that sort of conveys that properly to the village headman, and that was just really, really helpful and made me a lot more comfortable in that situation. And so he's completely on board. He said that's fine. He signed my thing, and then he offered to help me find a place to stay once I come back, which is also fantastic because I don't know how I would approach that by myself. So it's cool that I have the headman in my corner to tackle that once I get back. The second day, I feel like I kind of just collapsed a bit. I don't know what happened. I just feel like I forgot how to speak Thai, and I got really nervous and shy and awkward. I sat in on a few classes, but I didn't really talk too much to the students. I should have. I don't know. I kind of dropped the ball, I think. But I'm sure I'll get the hang of it. Overall, I think the trip was quite a success. I mean, I got my letter. That was the main thing that I had to do. The fact that my very first day was so productive has left me feeling really optimistic about the project moving forward. I think if I can kind of hone in on what made that day really good and work on the skills necessary to encourage that kind of day to happen more often, that's kind of what I'm going to be reflecting on before I head back to actually move in and start the project properly. So I'm heading back to Chiang Mai tomorrow and get back into my routine. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're interested in following the project. If you found this video interesting at all, please click the like button. Leave a comment if you have any questions at all. You know, how if you're a field worker, like, were your very first footsteps into the field any similar or different to mine in any ways? I'm always curious to know. So please let me know down below if you can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.